I'm Blair Ballin, and today I have the privilege of being with Brian Helton of Helton Brewing. Brian, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for taking your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So Helton Brewing, located not too far off the 51 freeway in Indian School, so most specifically 22nd Street in Indian School. How long have you guys been here?
We've been here for about 3.5 years. I've been brewing for about 23 years, but this is my first time going solo.
And what would you say the most popular types of beers are right now?
Right now, there's 3 that are really kind of hitting the market hard. Sours are definitely a surprise, but it is one of our #1 seller, a boysenberry sour. We usually have 4 to 5 different sours on all the time. IPAs are still the king. They always probably will be. The haze craze is still around, so we have a Northeast IPA. And typically I have 5, 6 IPAs on. I'm definitely more of a hophead. But one thing I bring to the table that we're kind of pride ourselves on is doing a Pilsner. So we have that in cans. Right now I got 2 Pilsners on, a Mexican Cerveza and then American Pilsner. The Mexican Cerveza has a little bit more of a lime character, and we up the chloride salts, so it has a little bit of a more refreshing, lighter style, which is perfect for summertime here in Phoenix. Yeah. And then with our IPAs, we're all over the board with them. We like to do a rye IPA, a black IPA, which is kind of fun and unique. We're always doing a session IPA or maybe a single hop. Yeah, that's kind of the rundown of what we do.
All this stuff is really fascinating. I love beer, have loved beer for a while, but it's just like, give me a beer and I'll drink it. So all this is really amazing to me. Yeah. So thanks for sharing. What major changes would you say you've seen over the past, let's say, 5 years? Okay. And where do you see the brewing industry going over the next 10-ish, let's say, years? It's
been great to be a part of the growing Arizona scene. Some would say that we're almost like the last of the Mohicans, so to speak, of getting on board. Of course, San Diego's known for their beer scene, Portland. And then for the size of this city, we have a lot of new guys on the field playing, and there's some really great beers being brewed. And I think people here in Phoenix are seeing that and realizing there's a lot of great places for them to go and, purchase beer, drink beer, support local, go to your local brewery. So the trends I've seen is industry-wise, it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, of course, the Northeast IPA was a huge thing, But I remember I was sitting with some other breweries on the East Coast at Great American Beer Fest in Denver, and we were looking for the Pilsners at that time. We're like, who has the good Pilsners? So I knew that trend was coming around. Everything is cyclical. We went through the ambers, back in the 90s. The IPAs had a resurgence from West Coast compared to an East Coast, so the malt-driven IPAs, the East Coast was left to a real fresh, easy Pilsner type of malt profile, and it's all about the hops on the back end, more flavor, more tropical aromas, which is totally different than how we were brewing prior, IPAs. So we've seen that, and I don't think sours or the Northeast is going to go anywhere. I think that is fun for brewers to play around with. There's always new hops coming on the market for us to use. There's new types of hops. Sours are just so much fun because that's a world underneath a microscope. So it's a challenge, and mixed cultures underneath the microscope is definitely fun for all of us as brewers. And then of course the Pilsner. Here in Arizona, the heat kind of demands a little bit of a lighter beer on certain days. If we're sitting around the pool all day long at a barbecue, I wouldn't be able to be drinking an IPA all day at 6 or 7%, or some get to 8 or 9.
You can try.
You can try, but you're not going to be, making it to dessert. So I think the Pilsner definitely has a place, in the scene, and it's the #1 selling beer in the world, so it's hard to deny that. And there's some great breweries out there making small batch Pilsners and offering something unique to the consumer.
Right, awesome. So Helton Brewing Company, so obviously the beer is here, full service kitchen also?
We have a full service kitchen. We are slightly limited because I never wanted to have the typical wings and hamburgers and French fries and do a brew pub environment. We do a lot of tacos, a lot of fresh ingredients made daily. With a brewery environment, the way I kind of look at it, I would like to have more shareable items. I don't ever want to have so many big proteins and fill up on starches that you don't want to have another beer.
Right.
I mean, we want you guys to sit and have 1, 2, possibly 3 or 4 beers. So if we're having shareable items or something like tacos, it doesn't really fill you up to the point that I can't have another beer.
Right.
So strategically, we keep them to shareable items. Just keep the environment nice and pleasant and kind of inviting to all.
Awesome. And then you also have some beers available for people to pick up and order?
Absolutely, yeah. We have cans out on the market, so people can go to certain liquor stores, restaurants will have them, and craft beer bars. And you can pick up cans, whether it's singles or 4-packs that they have them. You can pick up singles or 4-packs of 16-ounce cans here at the brewery. You can get cases, you get kegs, you get growlers. We got one of the best growlers program in town.
So for people wanting to come by and sample your beers and the tacos and other food that you have, so again, Helton Brewing Company off of 22nd Street in Indian School, just off the 51 freeway. The website, heltonbrewingcompany.com.
Correct.
And then are there certain days where you have specials going on or anything like that?
Well, we do the Taco Tuesdays, which is a good deal. You get 3 tacos, any of the 5 that we have, and a pint of beer for $10. So that's a really good deal. And it's a great way to get people in here and see what we're all about. We're always here, I'm always here. I love to give tours to the public and get people back there to see what we built and what we do. And that's one of our biggest things is education. We believe in education through the palate and getting beers in front of people that they might not have had. One of my great things that I love to do when people say, "Oh, I really don't like beer," I'm like, "Well, you just haven't had a beer that you're aware of." Right. There's so many different styles of beers out there. All the way from a fruited champagne, type of drinker would like some of the beers that are on the market right now. So we're always tapping new beers. You can follow us on social media. I do all my social media, which is a little bit more time consuming than you can ever imagine.
Yes.
But it's get a good camera and take some good pictures and give it a little time, and you're able to get some quality out there.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time and explaining everything, letting all of us know. And again, anyone interested in coming by, definitely strongly suggest it. Beers are awesome, the food's very good. Helton Brewing Company, Brian, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate your time.